How's it all sunk in?
Yeah, it's been a big 24 hours. I'm new to Perth, so getting to a new footy club, a new state, it's been a big move. But yeah, so ready for it. And when I got to the club yesterday, everyone's been so welcoming, so it's been an easy start.
Can you talk us through the day yesterday? How much you can jam into one day? Were you out last night, dinner with a few teammates?
Yeah, I had about 15, 20 teammates out last night, so that was on top of meeting the other 100 staff members and coaches and players, and a lot of names to remember, but really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I got taken out last night to dinner, so a bit of a bonding session with them, and thoroughly enjoying it so far.
Are you playing waffle this weekend?
Yeah, that's the plan. Just got to finalise a few things today, but should be going ahead tomorrow.
Were there any sort of introductions that stood out the most between any of the guys that you met?
Yeah, there's definitely a few. There's a few that are a bit quieter, but a few are a bit louder. And I think someone like Oscar Allen, he's spent a lot of time with me so far, making me feel comfortable. And Jack Hutchinson drove me to dinner last night. Got to know him a bit more. And other than that, they're all a bit silly and a bit fun, and they're all a good bunch of blokes. So they're easy to get along with.
And waffle tomorrow, you're playing off half back, is that sort of the plan?
Yeah, that's the plan. That's where I've been playing this year, and to start the year, that's where they want me to play. So
it's the actual first time you've been to Perth.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking? You land at the airport, you're in making your way to wherever, looking out the window, thinking, how'd this all happen?
Yeah, it's incredible because 6 months ago, AFL wasn't even in the question. So when I was on that plane, I think it finally hit me that I was actually moving and playing AFL. It was actually a really cool feeling because something I've always dreamed of, and moving state would never be a question for me. I'd always want to do it, to play AFL, and I'm just so happy it's here.
Do you see much of the Eagles over the years back in Victoria?
Yeah, they don't come back to Victoria often, as much as maybe other clubs would, but when they're in town, definitely watch a few games. And always watching the Sunday games that they play after my games, and been watching them closely and how good they're going as a young team, and as results aren't showing, but yeah, they'll be improving, and because it's a young group, it's really exciting at the moment.
Any players in particular you've watched and thought, geez, I like his style?
Yeah, probably here. I think the obvious one's Harley Reid. I just love how he goes about it. But watching Ryan Marrick off half back, I sort of take a bit out of his game and how his foot skills are elite. Something I want to improve in, and I think mine are pretty good. But to get to his level would be the next step. So I've been watching him pretty closely as well.
In terms of your living situation, who are you living with at the moment, and how long will that happen for?
I'll be moving in with Jacob, the new draftee, later this afternoon. He's flying across now, I believe. So. Just by myself last night in a little house across the road, but get to move in with him and enjoy this experience together, I guess.
So do you surf?
Don't surf, no.
You might have to start.
I might have to start surfing, yeah.
Sorry. Just in terms of your journey, it's been such a whirlwind for you. At what point did you think that AFL could actually be on the cards?
Yeah, very early this year, I'd say. Had a few good practice matches this pre-season with Richmond, and got to about round 1 or 2, maybe even 3, when I sort of realised that the interest was sparking up and the potential to be an AFL player was starting to be there. But I actually really believed in myself back then that I could be. Just needed someone to get on board with me and show the interest, and that gave me the confidence to keep going. And then I reckon a few rounds later, I was just confident that I was going to be one, and then I can be one. I knew the belief was always there. It's just had to find the interest, and I got there.
And rewinding a few years earlier, I guess a lot of players who do make it to the AFL, they're always in those pathways and whatnot. For you, why didn't you take that traditional path?
Yeah, it was just purely because I wasn't that good at footy back then. It was I always wanted to be in those pathways, and I was jealous of my friends that got there, and some of those mates fizzled out and aren't even playing footy anymore. So we've kind of taken the opposite journeys. But I was always jealous of them going through those elite pathways, and just simply wasn't good enough back then, and a bit skinny, a bit scrawnier, smaller. It just wasn't good enough. And as soon as I got to sort of the 21, 22, I sort of knew that VFL was the next big thing for me. So I took that.
Is there a feedback comment that really stood out for you across the years, like a kind of rejection type comment?
Yeah, actually, there's a couple murmurs in the background of footy clubs and saying that you're not good enough and you're overrated and stuff like that, because you do cop a bit of backlash at the local footy around the league, and definitely players saying you're not good enough, you're soft, you're all this and that. So you do take a little bit of offence to it, but it sort of makes you grow and give you confidence that they're picking on you, and they're picking on you for a reason, and use that confidence to keep growing as a player. So.
Confident you can fit into Andrew McWalter's style? Yeah,
definitely. They're building a really exciting brand of footy and still improving along the way, and I'll be working with the backline group, I assume mostly, so a young group that I can sort of ease my way into, and their game style will suit my sort of run and carry and way to pick out the offence through half-back, so really excited for that.
What do you know about Bassendean Oval?
Not
That's your
much.
debut. That's for West Coast.
All I've heard is there's a few spectators who like to get on the cans and hurl out a bit of abuse, so that's all I've heard so far, so I'll be excited for that. I think it'll be a good little spectacle.
And the club's got a bit of a history in terms of the mid-season recruits, playing them within a couple of weeks. Are you confident that after one local game you'd be ready if they need you?
I'll definitely be ready, yeah. I feel ready now, but I obviously want to ease my way into it. I haven't even trained with the group yet, so once I get a couple sessions in, get a waffle game in, I'll definitely put my hand up. I know my body's ready. I know I'm confident that I can perform at a level, so if they give me the opportunity, I'll take it for sure.
Do you feel more ready now as opposed to if you're 18 coming over here?
100%, yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great thing for me, coming over as a 24-year-old, bit of a more mature body. A guy who's learnt the system a bit. I've actually been living at home my whole life, so I haven't learnt that side of things. But in terms of moving state, I know I'm confident in my body, and a much more mature man than what I was at 18. So I feel a lot stronger coming over here now.
And I heard you've been working in a marketing role for the past 6 months. Is that right? And what has that entailed?
Yeah, so that was just a little marketing assistant role with they're a manufacturing company, and very glad I'm finished there. It was a good little experience, but I thought I was going to do that for the next probably 5-6 years and keep growing in the marketing field, and only worked there for 6 months, and then the AFL opportunity came up. So very grateful and so glad I'm not sitting in a desk anymore.
And what did they say when you told them, oh, sorry, I'm heading to Perth, I've got a contract?
Yeah, the excitement was second to none. Luckily, a few of the bosses are really big footy fans, so they were happy to let me go, and they'll find an easy replacement. But a lot of excitement in the office, because at the moment there's not much excitement. It's a lot of busy work, so it was good to see that smiles.
And before that, were you working at Woolworths?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you doing there, and how long were you there for?
Yeah, I was working at Woolworths for 6-7 years, and I was assistant dairy manager there for maybe half that time. And that was an interesting thing. I thought Woolies was going to be my thing for a long time, and it was, because I was playing local footy, and the fact that I could come out of Woolies, and it was a very basic lifestyle, that one. So to go from waking up early, stacking shelves, coming home, playing footy, to being footy full time now is a very good thing for me, and so excited.
Yeah, I guess a lot of players, they don't experience that side of the workforce. They just come in and they get lots of money and fame early on. In terms of your grounding, having gone through those years, what do you think that kind of gives you going forward? What sort of benefits do you think that provides?
Yeah, well, it gives me the opportunity to not take it for granted. I think some kids might get away with, they've been in the system the whole time and they were expected to play, and they might take footy's a job as for granted. And for me, coming in as a 24-year-old, already working through some not fantastic jobs, I definitely know I won't take this for granted. I'll work as hard as I can to stay in the league and work my ass off for the Eagles, and hopefully be here for as long as I can. And definitely won't take it for granted, and I'm going to put my head down and get to work.
You mentioned Jack Hutchinson before. Did he have some wisdom for you? I guess you're pretty similar journeys, because he didn't play VFL for very long before he was picked up and started playing AFL as well. Yeah,
he shared his story to me last night. He only played 7 or 8 games of VFL before playing at country footy. So his story, he didn't even come from a big VFL background. I don't think any talent pathways for him either. but he had less experience in the VFL, so he's come over, another fresh start, and he's just told me how much he's loved it, and the boys got around him, and how the coaches developed him as a player and really helped his journey. So to learn and grow off him is definitely the big step for me. I think he's going to be my go-to man for the next few weeks or whenever it needs to be, because he's done it pretty tough. Well, not really tough. He's done it pretty well over the last couple of years. So I'll grow off him for sure.
And saw you had the golf clubs yesterday. Were they always going to be one of the first things you packed?
Yeah, it was. I'm not great at golf, so being a full-time worker back then and playing part-time VFL footy, I had no time to play golf. So my aim is to come over here, and when I have spare time, play a bit of golf and try and get good again, I think.
And who did you support growing up?
I was a Melbourne supporter, very passionate Melbourne supporter. So that was me.
And who are some of your heroes?
Yeah, I always love watching Christian Petrarca, and even back in the day, your Brad Greens and your Russell Robertsons, David Neitz growing up. And there's a joke going around at the moment that my favourite player was Jayden Hunt back when he was at Melbourne. So there's been a bit of laughter about that when I've got here at the club. There's a few photos and messages that I sent him back in the day that, as a fan. So that's a pretty funny thing, and the boys are getting around that.
What did you send him?
I haven't seen it myself. I think Jayden checked it, and I was messaging him like fan comments in his DMs. So I was a big fan back in the day, and it's pretty funny that I'm here playing with him now. So
I'm more concerned that he remembered that.
He didn't remember it, but he checked I followed him on Instagram, and he's gone back in and seen the messages. So yeah, I don't even want to look at it myself, to be honest.
Did you get a reply?
I think I remember getting a reply. I can't remember what I texted him, but he used to love. He had his headband. I remember his famous headband, and he used to love his chalky milk. He made it a big thing, so it would have been about that.